Hey Buns, so I am back from the media tour and I got a chance to play VIPER and Pictomancer. I've been wanting to tell you about this for a long time, but couldn't because of the embargo, but I can finally tell you. First of all, let me say that both of these jobs surprised me a lot in completely different ways I would have never expected. So for this video, we're going to focus on VIPER. I just want to preface this by saying that I do not consider myself to be a combat expert. Yes, I've been playing the game for a long time. I'm all right, you know. I can read what really good players, what they suggest of how to play the job perfectly, and I will do that to the best of my ability. Think that I probably represent the average player experience of you unlock a job, you're completely lost, you read all the tooltips, and you try to fit it all together, all the stuff, and figure out the gist of how this is meant to work. That is what I did with both of these jobs, and I made sure I gave myself a lot of time with both of them so that I could understand how things are meant to happen. So I'm feeling fairly confident on both of these jobs, at least the general idea of how they meant to play out. And let's just hop in. That's enough prefacing. So listen, here's the thing with VIPER. We all thought that this was going to be pretty technical. And maybe it still will be. I also want to say as a disclaimer that, you know, all these things are not released yet. So things can still change. And I also want to say that Yoshi P said many times that a lot of times the difficulty of the job is going to come from the battle content. It's going to come from what the boss is making you do while doing your rotation. That's going to be where the difficulty's coming from. And they didn't want to make jobs too difficult on top of that because it's going to be completely overwhelming. Okay, so with that said, I gotta tell you, VIPER is so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's crazy easy. This probably is the easiest job I have ever played. And you might be thinking, oh no, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually not a bad thing. I also had a lot of fun with it. And I know some of y'all are probably thinking, oh my God, easy. It's gonna be boring. Well, no, actually it is super fun. So they did it. The mad lads, they did it. They figured out how to make a job that is not only very easy to understand, it's also extremely fun to play. Now, why is it fun to play if it's so easy? I'll tell you why. Because it's fast. It's so fast. It's probably the fastest feeling job I have ever played in F14. I almost feel like it was created as a response to people. They're like, oh, F14 combat's so slow. Oh, it's so slow. It's so quick, man. Like this job, you are blasting through. It is super fun for that reason. Like I am zooming around on VIPER. Yes, for me, this is a dream. And here's another crazy thing about VIPER. The way you play the job is you just click the buttons that light up. And as a dancer main, it usually drives me kind of crazy when people say, oh, all you have to do with dancer is just click the buttons and they light up, because usually there's a little bit more to it than that when it comes to, you know, pulling procs and then using them when at the appropriate times. But with VIPER, I actually think that you are just meant to press the shiny button when they light up. This is unlike any other job that has shiny buttons lighting up that we've ever seen before, because buttons light up based on what is optimal for you. Like what is going to give you a better benefit at that specific moment in time based on other buffs and things that you have on your character. That's so crazy. So I heard somebody saying near me in the computer lab near me that, oh, this is like the first smart job. And it is. It's intelligently telling you what buttons to press and when. We were talking amongst ourselves, and Arthars was like, are they going to add the system to Samurai later on? I don't know. They're probably going to test it out and see how do people feel about this. But I love it. It's amazing. Why do I love it? Well, because I get off track really easily. The job makes it very easy to stay on track. Now, does it have positionals? Yes. So maybe a lot of the difficulty is actually going to come from that. Maybe it's going to come from making sure that you can actually get to the boss's booty and flank in time for mechanics. That could be it. So for people that are worried that it's going to be too easy, don't worry yet. Don't worry until we see the first savage bosses and raids. I noticed that I was not even paying attention to the job gauge because I don't have to. I just click the button, that shiny button. I'm good. We were joking about it amongst ourselves. I was talking to the other people who were testing, and they're like, hey, how long did it take you to learn VIPER? And I'll compare that to how long it's going to take you to learn Pictomancer. We'll get to that one later. Also, along with feeling really quick and snappy, it has some of the most responsive OGCDs in the game. Like, the game is super, super responsive for Viper, and that contributes to it feeling really fast-paced. Another thing is it kind of feels like it has XIV. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't say that. I can't put this. A way that the combos are designed to be inputted feels like another response to some player feedback and ideas. So when you press a button, it changes into the next button in your combo that you need. Now, you have the option to separate these things out if you don't like it like that. But I loved it because it's like, okay, you can actually press 111. You do a combo that gives you a buff, and now you can do 222, and you do the other combo that gives you the other buff. It's good. I love it. You do that for a little bit, and then you can power up and get into your super powered up mode with like the dual blade. You gotta feel it to believe it, because I was worried that people would not have fun with it, considering how easy it is to play straight up. But I had such a good time with it because it's so fast and fluid and responsive and quick. And I was asking around, and everybody I talked to really, really enjoyed it as well. And these are like friends of mine who wouldn't lie to me, okay? I know like they were honest with me about it. And so for those of y'all who are getting a little worried, getting a little antsy, thinking, oh, I thought this was gonna be really technical and really complicated, don't knock it till you try it. Try it, and you'll get to try it very soon. Anybody can figure it out, really. Like, nobody had a hard time figuring this job out at all. Nobody. And we all figured it out really quickly. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's actually a good sign. I'm of the personal opinion that there shouldn't be a gigantic barrier to entry to learning a new job. Another thing I'll say in regards to this whole conversation about it feeling really simple and straightforward, it feels complete. It doesn't feel like it's missing anything or that it's lacking any special sauce. It's got the special sauce and it's good. I'm actually watching the footage right now of my playthrough, and I cannot get over how cool the powered up mode is, because you are like teleporting here. You're so quick. You have zoomies. It's wonderful. And I think everyone's gonna like it. I do think it's gonna be a crowd pleaser because it addresses many common complaints. Game can feel slow. Game can feel like there's a delay. Game can feel like it's hard to pick up the job. Game can feel like, oh, there's too many buttons. They got you, without making it feel boring or just like not enough going on. It's always something to do. There's always something fun to press. Great job. I love it. The idle poses for Viper are really cute as well. The only critique I would really have is that I think a lot of people with a name like Viper, they were looking forward to something with more poison going on, like poison dots. But there is no dot as far as I can tell. The only thing that I'd seen was a debuff that you put on the target that increases the damage you deal to the target, called Noxious Gnash. But that is not a dot that some people were kind of hoping for, considering, you know, poison. Like poison, it's always, it's classic RPG fantasy element for dots, right? I will also add that I did get some experience with maining a naming job, and I did main Reaper for a while. Got a little more comfortable with positionals, which is something I quite hated before and it kind of turned me off to playing a melee at all. But I loved doing the positionals on Viper right from the get-go, and maybe it's just because I felt like I could pay more attention to moving around the boss, because I'm not trying to 5-head what to do in my rotation. So overall, I'm even more excited about playing Viper now that I've got to play it, and I'm so glad I finally got to tell you that. And I think a lot of people are going to have a good time with it. So I'm looking forward to see what everybody else thinks about the job. So with all that said, if you're interested in my opinions and first impressions of Pictomancer, I'm going to put that in a separate video, which is going to be out very soon, if it's not out already. I don't know, like the timing for editing these is going to be kind of all over the place. So stay tuned to the channel unless you have already watched it. Thanks for watching. So yeah, I'm going to get to working on the other videos now. See you next time. Bye.